Justice under threat. The unraveling saga of Judge Engoron and Allison Greenfield. In a shocking turn of events, the ongoing civil fraud case against Donald Trump in New York has taken a perilous turn, with Judge Arthur Engoron and his law clerk Allison Greenfield facing serious and credible death threats. The saga began on October 3, 2023, when Trump posted a disparaging and untrue comment about Ms. Greenfield on Truth Social, linking her to Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer. In response, Judge Engoron imposed a limited gag order, later expanded to include Trump's attorneys, emphasizing the unacceptability of personal attacks on court staff. Despite the order, Greenfield has endured a relentless stream of harassment from Trump supporters, with her personal information compromised and subjected to daily doxing. Latest public hearings on the case. In the latest proceeding of this $250 million civil fraud lawsuit against the Trump Organization, Jeff McConney, the former controller at the Trump Organization, emotionally testified about his decision to leave the company after more than 3 decades. McConney, who broke down in tears during his defense testimony, cited the toll of years of investigations as a factor in his departure. He expressed pride in his 35 years of work but stated that he could no longer cope with being accused of misrepresenting assets. McConney's testimony also touched on the valuation of Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate in South Florida, a focal point of the trial, where investigators alleged that the property was valued as a private residence on financial statements to inflate its worth. McConney, like Eric Trump before him, testified that Mar-a-Lago was classified as a private residence, but he couldn't recall why it wasn't valued as an operating club, later describing it as a social club and denying intentional wrongdoing in the valuation process. Throughout his defense, McConney emphasized that external accountants, not the Trump Organization, were responsible for catching issues on Trump's financial statements. Threats and attacks. According to affidavits filed by attorneys for the New York State court system, Judge Engoron and Greenfield were bombarded with hundreds of threatening, harassing, and anti-Semitic messages through various channels, including phone calls, emails, and social media. The attacks intensified after Trump's targeted social media post, leading to a concerning wave of hostility. The threats, described as both vulgar and anti-Semitic, have prompted the New York State court system to file an affidavit arguing for the necessity of a gag order against Trump to safeguard the safety of the judge and his staff. The hostility intensified after Trump violated a previous gag order by posting disparaging comments about Greenfield, resulting in fines. Despite attempts to curb the attacks, both Greenfield and Engoron continue to face online abuse and doxing. The threats, which are not deemed hypothetical, pose a strain on court security, requiring constant reassessment to ensure the safety of the judge and his staff. Gag orders and violations. In response, Judge Engoron imposed a gag order on Trump, barring him from targeting the court staff. Despite the order, Trump violated it multiple times, leading to fines totaling $15,000. The threats against Greenfield escalated, with her personal information being compromised and daily doxing becoming a harsh reality. In Exhibit D of the court filing, Judge Engoron levied a gag order on the parties, assuming that it wouldn't be necessary for the attorneys who are officers of the court. However, the defendant's attorneys have repeatedly made inappropriate remarks about his principal law clerk, falsely accusing her of bias against them and of improperly influencing the bench trial. They also claim that passing notes between a judge and a law clerk constitutes an improper appearance of impropriety in this case, which is unfounded. He then clarified the relationship between the judge and his principal clerk. It is within a judge's authority, as per New York law, to seek consultation from court personnel whose role is to assist the judge in carrying out their adjudicative duties or seek advice from other judges. This is where the principal law clerk in the New York State courts plays a vital role in aiding judges in carrying out their duties. Ethics advisory opinions have stressed that the relationship between a judge and their law clerk is built on trust and confidence. While they are not partners in the traditional sense, they engage in a professional interchange, much like longtime colleagues in a law firm, as highlighted in Advisory Opinion 07-04. Voicemails and security concerns. The gravity of the situation was laid bare when transcripts of profanity-laden voicemails were revealed. Threats ranged from crude and bigoted to downright chilling, prompting serious security concerns for Judge Engoron and his staff. Court officer Captain Charles Holland emphasized the non-speculative nature of the threats, pointing out the strain on court security. The affidavit exhibits messages such as, "Resign now, you dirty, treasonous piece of trash snake," another voicemail said. "We are going to get you and any one of you dirty, backstabbing, lying, cheating American. You are nothing but a bunch of communists. We are coming to remove you permanently." Another transcript reads, "Yes, Arthur, you are a corrupt Nazi and one of the ugliest people to ever walk the face of the earth. And your clerk, who is also a corrupt Nazi, is a fat, bleep, Who blew Chuck Schumer, and everybody knows it. You are such a low life. No one would ever want to sleep with you. You look like, bleep. You are corrupt. You are going to get overturned, and I hope you get gonorrhea with Letitia James, the fat grimace looking, bleep. Legal response. In an attempt to reinstate gag orders, Judge Engoron's legal team presented evidence of the threats, highlighting the effectiveness of the orders in mitigating previous incidents. The legal battle now extends to balancing First Amendment rights with the imperative to protect the safety of court staff. In response to the defendant's First Amendment arguments opposing a gag order, the judge asserts that their claims lack persuasiveness. The judge defends the narrowly tailored nature of the gag order, emphasizing its primary purpose of safeguarding the safety of court staff and ensuring an orderly trial progression. While clarifying that the gag order doesn't apply to the judge personally, the directive explicitly prohibits any remarks about court staff, citing the well-documented threat of violence resulting from heated political rhetoric. The judge highlights the substantial need to protect staff from threats and physical harm, outweighing the defendants and their attorneys' First Amendment rights to comment on the staff. As a result, the judge orders all counsel to refrain from making any public statements, in or out of court, referencing confidential communications between the staff and the judge, with serious sanctions threatened for noncompliance. The pursuit of justice amid rising threats. As the civil fraud case continues, the threats against Judge Engoron and Allison Greenfield underscore the challenges faced by those seeking justice in a highly charged political environment. The court's efforts to balance free speech and security hang in the balance as the trial unfolds. Judge Engoron's attorneys revealed profanity-laden voicemails, ranging from crude to chilling, received by his office. The threats, deemed not hypothetical or speculative, led to the issuance of gag orders against Trump and other parties. The orders, initially effective in reducing threats, were circumvented when Trump violated them, resulting in increased harassment. The gag order has been paused by the New York appeal court pending proceedings. To sum up, the escalating situation highlights the delicate balance between First Amendment rights and the imperative to protect judicial staff from harm. Engoron's attempt to reinstate the gag orders underscores the urgency of addressing the serious threats against the judge and his law clerk. As the trial unfolds, the legal community closely watches the developments, recognizing the broader implications for the safety of judicial personnel in the face of intense political scrutiny. Thanks for watching. If you like it, comment and hit the like and share buttons. Subscribe for future videos.